the other band in now, as far as how you got back into writing again? You took a little time off in between.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was a little forced, just because everyone kind of, unless you start making a whole bunch of money, people kind of start to fall off, and they can't do it anymore. They need a little more stability. So it was almost like one band member kind of fell off at a time, and I was like, all right, I have no one left. We were using makeshift bands, and it just wasn't the same as like our original lineup.
So these new songs that you wrote, have they been written for a while, or did you just recently?
There was a couple that were done in New York, right at the end of, I'd say, 2008. What are we in right now? 2009. End of 2008, and then when I got back, so like right. New Year's, 2009, and then a couple right before I did it. So it was like, they're all spread out kind of from the end of 2008 to when I actually recorded it, which was, I don't remember when, I think April of 2009.
Are there any other flavors that you're looking to get into? I know that you have a little bit of the 70s production, and there's a little bit of horn, a violin, there's a little bit of electronic elements on one of the songs. Is there anything you're gravitating towards specifically, or if you have
no, and that's the thing. Well, if I had a shitload of money, I'd have like an orchestra, man. Yeah, of course, man. Like almost everyone in the whole world grew up Beatles fans. I grew up a big Beatles fan, and there was definitely always that element of strings and horns and goofy shit. They brought the Moog in and all that stuff, so there's always that desire to want to tinker and toy with stuff. But it definitely is what your capacity is, so and things cost money, which sucks. And you want to hire a string section, but they're like, all right, pay me. You're like, well, I want to just help out a musician, and it doesn't work very often. So I think that's. I don't think there's anything specific, but I just think that every musician, if they can, wants to bring in more elements and. But I like the idea of being able to do. I don't want to because there's some cheesy pop songs in there, and then there's some that I think are more cerebral, and then I think there's some that are a little more countryish, and it's like I don't ever want to get boxed into something that's like.
Are there any other people in the area that you're looking to work with, or are you just strictly going to try and?
There are so many bands that I love to play with, but I don't want to discredit myself or the people I play with. I definitely feel like maybe I'm a little pop, and like I don't have that rawness that some of the bands I really like. Like I just was hanging out upstairs with the guys from Catfish Haven. They were here, and I recognized them, and I'm like, "Hey, you guys playing Catfish Haven?" And we talked, and they have such a cool vibe, but we're nothing like them. I'd love to play with someone like that.
After the band and after playing Lollapalooza and all that, it's much more open now, huh?
Freedom to. Lollapalooza was so long ago. It was like 2006. We thought we were on top of the world, but you're knocked down just as quick as you think you're, doing something good. You gotta work so hard.
And everyone's got to be dedicated. So
you gotta work so hard. And any bands that are successful throughout their local bands that are even getting an inkling of success, they work hard. There's no other way. I mean, there is some luck involved, but you gotta work your ass off and really be dedicated and keep plugging away because nothing, will ever happen otherwise. So it's hard. It's a daunting task. Chicago scene is awesome. You just gotta look. I mean, there's definitely. I'm trying to think of the show I saw recently. I like Oh My God. I think Oh My God is pretty cool. They're strange, but I like them. I think they got some really catchy tunes. They've been on the scene forever. I remember seeing the Scotland Yard Gospel Choir years ago. I haven't seen them recently, so I don't know what they're up to. But I remember being like, that's a cool band. But the local scene is great, man. You just gotta. There's so much. I don't even know who I saw there, and I went to this bar called Cole's in Logan Square, and there was this band, and they got up, and I'm like, everyone's when they see a band, like, okay, what are you gonna do? Just waiting for nothing good. Everyone's waiting, just like I knew they sucked. Okay, and they come out, and it's like so raw and cool, and like no one has any idea who these guys. I don't even know their name. I was so drunk at the time, but like it was just from my friend from WLUW, a DJ. He's like, come to the Coles, let's go see a band. I'm like, all right, come on, let's go. We just go, and there's like 3 bands playing, and one of them is good. I mean, it was like, had to have been all 40 years old, each of them. And they were just rocking, you know what I mean, in front of like 10 people. So the Chicago scene is there. You know, there's bands, people play everywhere. You know, look at this wall. You know what I mean? That's Chicago, so, you know. I wish I was more involved in it. It's hard, though. It's a lot of work to be, it's a lot of time invested. The internet, I love it in a lot of facets, but sometimes I'm just like, I end up spending way too much time on it, and I'm like, this is something, I don't feel good when I come out of it. After like 8 hours of just being on a computer, I'm like, that's not, I don't feel like good right now. You know what I mean? So I'm still kind of a old-fashioned person in that way. I don't really, don't get me wrong, I got email and that shit, but it's just, it's not the first thing I want to do when I wake up, so, you know. But I got a buddy, an old bandmate of mine, who, when I was living in New York with him, he would just, I don't know where he find these he find music and MP3s from just countless bands, you know, and you gotta hunt. It's work to go find good music, and because there's so much out there. I mean, there's literally just so much out there that, you know, it's work to just be like find a good new band, and you know.
And do you have any more songs written, or?
I write a song once every other day. Whether I keep it or not.
Do you track stuff at all, or no?
No, I do a lot like on a tape recorder, and a lot on like my phone, or a lot on like a voicemail, or you know, I got like 2 different ex-girlfriends. I've got like 10 songs on one and 5 songs on her voice. They probably erased them by now, but I just call back. I'd be like, all right, I'm calling you right back. Don't pick up, and I just start playing this. I mean, it's hard to get that song that you actually bring to the table to, you know, say, hey, let's all take the time to learn this, you know, and make something of it. So, but yeah, I've got lots of songs. Too many. I don't even know what to do with them. You know.
Yeah.
So, and it's more for myself, just like therapeutic kind of stuff, like feeling bottled up and upset. You know, it's easy to pick up a guitar and sing a melody, than just go and hurt someone or scream or
get on the internet.
Yeah, get on the internet. Exactly. Hello, my name's Adam Ashbach. I am a puppet and a musician, and thank you for interviewing me. Hope it was okay.